Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the most valuable player of 2018, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs as they match up with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts. And a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does. And you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Heinz Field. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Steelers make their way out. The Killer Bees are no more. Only one remains, and that's their quarterback, number 7, Ben Roethlisberger. They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
In the center for Pittsburgh, Marquise Pouncey, one of the most physical and agile players at his position in the league. A 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's a keystone of one of the top offensive lines in the league.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Roethlisberger will throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. James Washington was the intended target. 3rd down here. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Tyrann Mathieu has a cornerback's build with safety skills. The Honey Badger knows where the football is.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 41-yard line. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41. On first down, it's Samuels. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 37-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
Here's Roethlisberger. But it's brought in by Washington. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 20-yard line. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
White 80.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go, here we go.
Black is run.
They'll run on 1st down. Samuels. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald there to make the grab. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Chiefs now under their veteran head coach, Andy Reid. Leading them out, the reigning MVP of the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes, in his 3rd season now out of Texas Tech. And few players have had the spotlight focused on them quite like Patrick Mahomes. But this is a guy that says he wants that attention. He's okay with a target on his back. We saw how electric he can be in 2018, and he wants to continue that into 2019 and beyond. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
That penalty is declined.
Now the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And now the Chiefs offensive starters.
At one point, Kansas City thought they had a dilemma at the running back position in 2018, but Damian Williams came to the rescue. A big year for him, the highest yards per attempt of his career, and he scored 4 touchdowns in December as the Chiefs made a playoff run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's gonna be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It is one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another 1st down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his 2nd season, James Conner. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 38-yard line.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week one, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
On third down, Roethlisberger. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now here comes Kansas City. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And this is caught inside the 5. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Double tight.
You got three down.
On play action, it's Mahomes. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. His opening drive there last time out looked good for a while. The offense was on the move, but then the pick six.
They were clicking. He was looking good. And, you know, if this was a game played by real human beings, we could get an actual answer. These are virtual guys out there, so we don't know what's going to happen or what actually happened with the miscommunication on that one.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a guy on his 4th franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now here's Mahomes. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll run with Samuels. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Dorian O'Daniel, 3rd-round pick in 2018, made the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 30 on second down, Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line. On 1st and 10 is counter. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to Connor here on 1st. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Roethlisberger now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
59, Mike to 59. Danny.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Roethlisberger. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it is now 21-0. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Well, with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. The coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be their starter. You remember last year he was forced into the starting role the final 3 games of the season due to attrition, and he really excelled. And then he was excellent in the playoffs against the Colts and Patriots. Strong indicator that he was ready to be the bell cow. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Williams. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And we see his collection of highlights. He's always so tough to cover.
He really is, and there are plenty of reasons why. Runs great routes, has an understanding of what defenses want to do against him, and really has a great determination to go up and get the football. He decides it's his and no one else's.
And he's decided that a lot so far in this game.
Let's see what you got.
They start with a give to Connor. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Like 80. Mike, 44. I got you. I got you.
On first down, Samuels. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
Like 80.
21-0 our score after one.
Chiefs, nothing.
All right, now, blue 30.
Mike gives it 15. Check Mike 15. Stop your whining.
Black and turn.
On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Damian Williams and the Chiefs ready to begin their next drive. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Now a 1st down carry, it's Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. For quarterback Patrick Mahomes, one of his early coming-out parties happened against these Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 2 in 2018, just his 3rd career start. threw for a franchise record 6 touchdowns, 326 yards. Little did we know at the time that that performance would be the tip of the iceberg en route to snagging MVP honors. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Heading back out there, Jalen Samuels. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive will start with Connor, and he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Roethlisberger nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Roethlisberger now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Mahomes to throw. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the return will stop right around the 25. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
And you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
A good gain there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 31, Roethlisberger. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second and very short, Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
All right, now. Like 80. 59. Let's go, D.
They'll run on first down. It's Connor. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On second and 7, Roethlisberger setting up the screen. This is Samuels. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Boswell for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Hey, let's get in them holes.
Mahomes to throw on second down. And this is caught by Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
First down, Chiefs.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
On first down, it's Williams. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Double tight. Three down.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39. Kelce, such a valuable part of this offense. Made the Pro Bowl the last 4 seasons. 2018 being the most productive when he went over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and a great relationship between he and Pat Mahomes off the field. Very good friends. Attended a bunch of high-profile sporting events together in the offseason. And that chemistry, it certainly shows on the field. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Big series right here, so we got to step it up.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mahomes, complete. The tight end, Kelce. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Yellow, I'm the Wolverine. Switch up. Double tight, double tight. 3 down, 3 down.
They run again with Hyde on 1st. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 5 now. Mahomes to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Butker's kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
53, Mike 53. You.
Now Roethlisberger. Got an open man. It's Washington. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They'll run on first down. Samuels, absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Brings up second and 12 at the 13-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12.
Watch QB drop.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's Damian Williams making his way back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now Mahomes. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Not today, you are. Not today.
On first down, Williams. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
It's Kelsey on the ground. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
He got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks. The second weekend of preseason football in full swing. this one of 5 games on this Saturday. Then we'll have 2 more games coming up tomorrow on national television. Saints and Chargers, followed by Seahawks, Vikings, and then our first Monday night game of the year, the 49ers and Broncos from Denver. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. The first throw for Henney, the veteran backup. That's complete to Sterling. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Henney. And that is incomplete. The rookie from Michigan there defensively. That's Devin Bush making the play.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And it's taken in at the 9. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Running to start the drive is Samuels. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now it's the backup Rudolph. Open man is Switzer, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Down. 15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie.
Hey, we got tight left, tight left. 4 down, 4 down. Alert.
Hit it.
They'll run on first down. Samuels. Shavarius Ward in on the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
Right here, right here.
Play action. It's Rudolph. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the one he was looking for, and it's third down.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
We got 4. We got 4.
Go.
Throwing on third down, here's Rudolph. That's caught the former USC Trojan, Xavier Grimble. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 44-yard line.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Come on, set.
So now first and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 44-yard line.
Hey, boys, we got 4. 4 down.
5.
They run the counter. Samuels, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Good push up front, and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
Get it.
They'll run again with Samuels on first down. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Even. 4 down. Even.
Down.
On second and 9, Rudolph. Outright, he gets this one to Switzer. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back.
Ready. 60 yards.
50. Check.
On first down, Samuels. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
3 buzz.
Big grip.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Rudolph. Able to hit his tight end, Grimble. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down here to the tight end.
They'll run with Samuels, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Samuels ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ready? 50, plant.
So we got man.
They'll try to fire up the running game with Hyde. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now Hyde, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Let's go. 60 outlaw.
Watch the screen. Pass.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a run with Hyde. And he will lose gains yardage back to the 34-yard line. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Down. 8, read. Stay with your man. Let's go.
On 2nd and 12, Henning. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 18.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Ready, ready.
55 to Mike. Check. 55 to Mike. Drop deep, drop deep.
First down, a run with Hyde. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Henning. His throw incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll run for it with Hyde. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Second and 3. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll drop the throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs gain a bit of respectability.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Under review.
Henny's pass complete to number 84. Touchdown, Kansas City.
After review of the play,
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the kick by Butker is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off. Let him chew up the yardage in big plays. And your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Game, offense.
Let's go, boys. Bring
That
it.
penalty is declined.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Samuels. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Eli Rogers that time. And that takes us from second to third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Move. Hey, we got four. We got 4 down. 4 down.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's it. Big hit.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. This will be fielded at the 17. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
A tip carry for Hyde. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Get it.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option.
That's how we do it, baby.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Hey, tighten down. There you go. Now.
2nd and 15. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They were making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And now out come the Steelers. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll start the drive with Samuels. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Set, 8, read.
Strong right, strong right, strong right. 3 down, 3 down.
Ready.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rudolph. Going to throw right side here, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Let's go.
On 1st down, it's Samuels. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Emmanuel Ogba brought him down. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Ball set, 94.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports.
Set, ready, 70, Indy.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
From the 44, Rudolph. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4.
Watch 38. Watch 38.
Trying to get the first with Samuels. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 46. Here's Samuels. Charvarius Ward there to make the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll tap one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Let's go.
On 2nd and 7, Rudolph. Going right side here, and that's complete. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
5.
They'll run on 1st down. Samuels. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Get it.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Rudolph. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Let's go.
At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ready?
50, Mike's 50. Squeeze, squeeze, double, double.
This is Samuels. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Let's go now. 18 Gator.
Get your swerve on.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On the ready.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Ready.
They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Let's go.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Hey, I got number 80. Got number 80. I got him.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. And Boswell's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They start the drive with Hyde. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Henny. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Ready, break. Check right. Watch it, 5. Come on, D.
Here's Hyde on the draw. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Henny. There's the first NFL catch for the former Georgia Bulldog, Mecole Hardman. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
3 down, 3 down.
On first down, Hyde. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Ready.
26 Mike. Focus, defense, focus.
Get it.
On 2nd and 12, Henny. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now.
3rd down, Carlos Hyde. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Heading back out there, Jalen Samuels. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
I smell fear in that offense.
They'll run on first down. Samuels, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go a slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
From
From the 27, Rudolph. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Getting it in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense. That penalty is declined.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Samuels. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Rudolph throwing right, and that's complete.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. On the handoff, it's Samuels. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 27, Rudolph. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, here's Samuels. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Boswell's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And there's well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Here we go. Set. 10-2 stop.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down, 3 down.
Get it.
They run with Hyde. He's been the bell cow tonight. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Following the penalty, it's Hyde. Powerful running. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, when you got a guy who's a dual threat out of the backfield, go ahead and use him. And that's exactly what they've done on back-to-back plays here. Picked up big chunks of yardage, once in the air, once on the ground.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
At the Steelers' 11-yard line.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Ready.
2nd and 5 now. Penny, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they work this near the 5. He's stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Here we go. 50, plant.
They'll run high, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was capped off by a Carlos Hyde touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run the counter. Samuels, and some room to work. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything right.